What up, crew? Today I have the story Pete the Cat's Groovy Imagination, written and illustrated by Kimberly and James Dean. I really like Pete the Cat. He is super cool and goes on a lot of amazing adventures and is very creative as well, just like you guys. So, here we go. Pete the Cat was happy. Today would be so much fun, chilling out, catching vibes, sand, surfing, and lots of sun. I mean, he even slept with the sunglasses on. He was so excited. But when Pete looked outside, he got down in the dumps sad. Dark clouds and pouring rain could make this good day turn bad. Didn't complain. He did not feel blue. Pete knew he could find something fun to do. Positive attitude. Pete drew a cool picture, and he strummed a little tune on his guitar until he saw something too good to be true. Now, I love his little thought bubble. That symbol of a light bulb means he has a really good idea coming up. Pete found a big box. He looked it up and down. He turned it side to side and he spun it all around. The box was brown and it was strong. The box was wide and tall. Maybe this wasn't just any box after all. This box rocks, he thought. This box was big and it was groovy. The box could be something new. Suddenly, Pete's imagination grew and grew and grew. In fact, he started painting it with a primary red and secondary orange paint. Maybe it was more than a box. Maybe it was more than it seemed. Pete closed his eyes and had an out-of-this-world dream. It was more than a box. It was a groovy rocket ship. Pete saw the moon on his outer space trip. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. And now he's out in space. And now Pete was headed home. He landed splash in the sea. Pete had to think fast. Now, what could this box be? The box was big and it was groovy. The box could be something new. Suddenly, Pete's imagination grew and grew and grew. Primary yellow. What could it be? The box was now a yellow submarine. Pete dived way down into the sea. Pete wore his goggles to see the underwater scene. Reef and sea creatures. But the submarine crashed when it reached land. Now the box was laying sideways in the sand. But what's a cat to do with a box that couldn't stand? Well, the box was big and it was groovy. The box could be something new. Suddenly, Pete's imagination grew and grew and grew. And pretty soon the box was not just a box lying on its side. It was a cool cat race car revving for a fast, fast ride. He got some more materials and made his own race car. Zoom, zoom, Pete won the race just like that. Then splat, the race car went flat. Now what good is a box that looks like a mat? Well, the box was big and it was groovy. The box could be something new. Suddenly Pete's imagination grew and grew and grew. Even though a flat box was not in the plan, Pete imagined it was a stage for his jammin' rock band. Nice. Sometimes our plans just don't go right, but it doesn't mean the day can't be out of sight. If you use your imagination, you will see just how groovy your day can be. And look, the sun is out now, and he's been on so many cool adventures today with his creative imagination. When you want to dream of something new, thinking outside the box is the grooviest thing to do. And when he went to sleep, he dreamed of all the cool adventures he went on. So space and the ocean and race car, very cool. So you guys are just as groovy and imaginative as Pete the Cat. So I think if you grab a piece of paper, we could do a quick drawing of Pete the Cat. And then maybe you could write your own story or adventure and illustrate it too. So once you have your piece of paper, you can turn it the vertical way, the tall way, and you can use a pencil. I'm going to use a Sharpie just because I like the black lines to show up for the video, but keep it light so you get it right, and then you can add color or maybe use marker as well. So we're going to start a little below the halfway point today, and we're going to start with the ears of Pete the Cat. Now, Pete's ears remind me of a three-sided shape. They remind me of a triangle. All right. So if you can make a triangle, we can make a Pete the Cat ear. So here we go. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to go up and down, but I'm not going to do that last side. We're going to connect to the other side first and make his other ear. So I'm going to connect with a curved line and then make that other up-down diagonal. So I have his ears in the top of his head. And then to finish off his head shape, I'm just going to go down and around. So I'm going to go down and around. Connect. Now Pete has big eyes, and they're kind of a football shape. So we're going to just curve right here. Curve one. Right next door, curve again. And now we just make the same shape or line, but upside down to connect from one side to the other. So I'm going to go around to the other side and around to the other side. Now he has dark eyes, so his pupil and will be up near the top of his eye. He'll be looking up here. I'm going to go around on both, and then leave a little white space like the bright spot or highlight. So it's going to look kind of like a donut in his eyeball there. And since he does have dark eyes, you could fill in, if you want, around that bright spot. You could do it now or you could do it later. It's up to you. And remember, since it is a video, you can pause and rewind as many times as you want. Now, his nose is another three-sided shape, so it is a triangle. So I'm going to make that nose real quick. I'm going to go over, down, and up to make his nose. Now, because we're close to the bottom of the paper, I'm just going to make two diagonal lines for his body going down to the bottom here. So I'm going to go diagonal, diagonal. His tail, you could have his tail coming up on either side if you want. It could be squiggly or diagonal, or if you don't want to add the tail, you don't have to. I'm going to have it kind of going up like this. Boom. Now his whiskers, he has uno, dos, tres, cuatro, 4 on each side. So 4 on each side would make 8 altogether. So I'm going to go 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. 4 on each side. Now I kind of like his little sidekick. So we'll give him his little friend down here too. So he has big eyes as well. His are ovals, not the football shape. So I'm going to make those 2 ovals. And we'll have him looking up at Pete, and just like Pete with the dark eyes and the bright spot. So we'll make kind of like the donut shape. And if you want to fill them in, you can. And then his beak is just like the nose of Pete. So it is a triangle. So I'm going to go out, back in, connect, and then make a circle going from the eye to the beak, and the beak around to the other eye. And since we're close to the bottom of the page, I'm just going to do another diagonal and maybe like his little wing. So up, down. Perfect. Now, just like that one page where he had that great idea, we're going to do like a little thought bubble. So that's why we started lower on the page. So when we do our thought bubble, we can then create a new adventure or idea for Pete, and you can kind of make a connection to the story. So I'm going to make some kind of like puffballs here. 1, 2, 3. And then a giant thought bubble. Maybe I'll even start right at the top of the page. So I'll just kind of make some curvy lines. It's almost like a cloud I'm making. But I'm making it big so that I can fill in anything that I want up there. I could start illustrating part of the story or put some words in there. So I kind of like the cover here. I might do like the light bulb. Maybe he's got another great idea. And again, you can do whatever you want in your story. So he's got his bright idea. Maybe he's going to do some more painting, maybe on his box. So maybe I add a little paintbrush there. Maybe he wanted to do some more music with his rock band. So maybe I'll do some music notes. Maybe he wants to go play some tennis, Mr. Gove. Uh, Maybe he wants to go swimming in the ocean. So I kind of like his waves that he did. Maybe like uh, an island with a palm tree. There we go. So really, you could come up with anything. Maybe, yeah, out in space again. I liked going out in space. Do you know what planet has the ring around it like that? It's called Saturn. Maybe I'll put the moon as well. So you can continue illustrating, you can continue writing, and make your own story, or maybe you'll even find a box like Pete and you can turn it into your own adventures. So I hope you had a lot of fun and continue creating with your groovy imagination. Adios.